Good morning. This morning, we're in the Spark Story Bible. We're on page 234, John the Baptist. John was an unusual man. He had a lot of hair and a long beard. His clothes looked like his face. They too were furry and hairy. His clothes were made of camel's hair, held together with a leather belt. John ate strange foods, including wild honey and locusts, a kind of grasshopper. Yuck. God gave John an important job. His job was to tell people that Jesus was coming and help them get ready to believe what Jesus would teach them. John knew the things Jesus would tell people were the most important things in the world. When he taught people, John stood by the river and yelled out, "Hey, all of you, tell God you're sorry for your sins. Turn your life around and act in ways that are good and honest." Then he would turn to another group and shout, "Are you listening? This is important. Jesus is coming. He's the Messiah. He will save all of us." Day after day, John continued teaching, preaching, and crying out so people would listen. Many people came to hear what John had to say about Jesus. There were rich and poor people, honest and dishonest people, nice and not so nice people. Some people listened to John. Some people didn't. Some people said, "That man must be a messenger from God." Some said, "He's really odd. I'm getting out of here." Many people believed the message John told. Those people said, "I'm sorry for my sins. I want God to forgive me." To each, John said, "God does forgive you." He baptized those people in the river. The people started calling him John the Baptist. John the Baptist had done a good job. The people were ready to hear the message Jesus would bring. Have you ever had to get ready for visitors to come to your house? What do you have to do to get ready for them? Do you have to clean up your toys? Or maybe they're going to sleep in your room and you have to get your space ready for them? Maybe you help your grown-ups cook the food. We have a couple dogs who come to my house for dinner on Sunday nights. And so we have to make sure all of our stuff is out of the way that they might want to chew on. In our story today, we hear about a pretty weird guy. He eats bugs. He wears weird clothes and he yells a lot. I don't know if I'd want him to visit my house. Believe it or not, this is the same John that Zechariah sang about in the temple last week. The one God would send to tell everybody about Jesus. And just like Zechariah said he would, John is telling everyone, "Hey, pay attention. Jesus is coming soon." What would you do if Jesus was coming soon to your house? Would you make things extra clean? Would you serve your favorite foods or maybe plan an extra special game to play? Our Advent wreaths remind us that Jesus really is coming soon. When my girls were littler, they used to think that when we said we're having a birthday party for Jesus, that some guy named Jesus was actually going to show up at our house for a birthday party. We know that's not quite how it happens, right? But Advent is our season of getting ready to hear the story of baby Jesus and think about how we want to welcome Jesus into our lives and into our hearts this week. What are some things you could do to get ready for Jesus? It's the third week of Advent, so we're going to light 3 candles on our Advent wreath. And while we do that, let's think about things that we can do to be ready for Jesus in our lives and in our hearts this week. We have 3 lit. 1, 2, 3. And we'll light one more next Sunday. And then it will be almost Christmas in time to light that middle candle. Have a good week.